Welcome back to the Sound for More channel. It's Leo speaking. Today I have the pleasure to introduce you to superb SNESynth from AudioKit, or SNESynth as you preferred, Ninja Entertainment System or Synth. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Additionally, if you would like to participate in the giveaway, please do check the instruction in the video description as usual. And please do remember to check the description to see if the giveaway has concluded, and therefore check if you are a winner. Now, superb SNESynth, another marvel from AudioKit. Fantastic app. This is one of those apps which brings you back to the 16-bit game power. So, nostalgic, of course, but always entertaining. I should say, to start with, that no samples of games were taken, but of course, some sampling was taken from the vintage hardware synthesis. Okay? It is AUV-free compliant. At the moment, we are running it inside as a standalone, but and you can use it as an AUV-free inside AUM, Logic Pro, GarageBand, etc., etc. So familiar interface as you would expect from application from AudioKit, for which I'm a big supporter. And it has more than 2,500 samples, more than 400 presets, so it's really, really great. This is the main screen, as you can see, and at the bottom you have some controls at the top, and the usual familiar oscilloscope here, and then at the bottom you have your keyboard with your usual settings. But let's start straight away with what it sounds like. And as you can see, if you click on welcome, you have a lot of different banks, and then for each banks you have a large number of presets. So a lot of nostalgic sounds from 16-bit hardware, so really nice to hear them again. And as you can see, every time you click on a preset, you have a brief description of the preset here on the right-hand side. You can do the usual, making your favorite, edit it, copy, and of course sharing it. You have different banks here, of course, from the usual artist. All supporting AudioKit. And so on and so forth, a lot of different presets. You can browse, of course, like so, which is really nice as a view, and you can also search. Okay, let's continue. As you can see, you can create a new initialized preset. You can create a new bank. You can reorder if you like so, and you can import. So why don't we create a new bank? Like so, you use a bank 2. And of course, if you want to delete the previous one, you can do so. Just swipe to the left and click delete. But now let's select the user bank 2. Of course, you can rename that if you prefer to have a different name. And you can click on that initialize preset to have a first initialize preset. Because it does have a real synthesis engine internally. Okay, so let's go through the controls. Starting from the bottom, you have your keyboard here. You can, of course, move up of octave and down. You can adjust also the tempo here. You can click on a hold. You can also record, which is quite handy as well. And you have settings here, for example, for your what you can do with the modulation wheel, what it will affect as destination, for example, the cutoff, the layer mix, the LFO, number 2 rate, the tremolo, and also for the pitch bend, the upper and lower bounds as well. You can set it to also work with Bluetooth, of course, which is always handy. You can go for Ableton link as well. Here you have your option here for doing a MIDI learn. And of course, this is your MIDI panic button as well. Here you can also adjust the tempo, the beats per minute. Just click on 120. And you can adjust it here and type a number and then press OK. And you can also load the tempo from the preset. You can activate it or not. Here you have your pitch, your modulation. And then you can go to keyboard settings. You can change the color, light to dark, the number of octave range if you want more or less, like so. If you want, of course, to play directly on the screen, that becomes really handy. If you want to have labels on keys, and then if the velocity on screen, on the keyboard on the screen, which is here, if it is fixed, normal, or inverted. So hopefully that is self-explanatory. And then you have settings here. You can do MIDI channel in Omni, or you can set a channel as you like. You can do MIDI learning knobs. You can reset the MIDI learn knobs, which is always useful if you want to change them again. You can have it always on and don't sleep. You can enable the background audio, and then you can change the buffer size, which is useful in case you start to hearing crackles. And then of course you can change the MIDI input velocity curve, which allows you to press harder or softer on keys, depending on the velocity curve that you have selected. So starting here on the main screen, so we have seen already this menu here, which allows you to go to preset banks. You can go to the previous one, the next one. You can randomize here as well. You can save, and then you can go into the info, which is where I started with the video. You can click on content, videos. You can join the VIP email. You can go to additional AudioKit apps. You can go to the app website, etc., etc. Okay, let's go back to the main view. Here you have a volume with main and limiter. You always have the feedback here at the top, which is really useful, so you know what is happening in terms of changing the control. And you can have the oscilloscope here in the middle, which tells you what is happening with in a visual form, in a visual way, what is happening with the waveform. You can enable crash. And you can adjust the level there. Here you have a fantastic analog filter, and you have a cutoff and resonance as you would expect. Here you can add some fire and power. You can see the increase in amplitude on the waveform. You can do auto pan, and you can set the depth. Okay, double click to reset. You can add some tremolo. And adjust the depth, of course. you can set it to mono and add some glide as well. Which is useful if you want to obtain that gliding effect. You can enable the verb or reverb. You can set the size, low cut, and those frequency, and then adjust the mix. Okay, perfect. Next, we have the oscillator tab here. As you can see, two oscillator left and right, and then you can mix the two layer here from layer 1 and layer 2. You decide how much from each. So if we start on the left, so we have layer 1 at 100% and layer 2 at 0%. Here you can select the waveform, sine, triangle, square, so, and pulse. You have also pulse and wave modulation here, which is quite useful. Okay, you can do the same on the second layer, of course, and adjust the mix. You can adjust the level of each one, the tuning in semitone or cent, and the pan left and right channel. You can do the same, of course, for both. Now, if you don't want to use the internal waveform, just click here and then you can select from a vast array of samples, which is absolutely great. But then, and you can also search, of course. Okay, and click again to go back to the internal waveform. Below you have an ADSR, an envelope, and you can adjust the attack, decay, sustain, and release. And you can do it for both layers, and you can link them. When you link them, of course, you change one, and the other one will change. When they're not linked, they are independent. Okay? You have a sequencer. You can enable here, clicking on. You can adjust, of course, the sequencer step up and down. You can adjust the rate, the gating as well, the number of steps that you have available on the screen to play, let's say 4. So it restarts after number 4 step. Here you can set the destination. You can go to layer 1, layer 2, or both as well. And then you can lock the sequence if you need so. As you load the presets, you can have it also free running as well. Okay, so then let's go to the Pro tab. And here you have an LFO, and you activate it here. You can decide the waveform there, the rate and the amount, and then you have choose destination. So let's change the destination. So you might say, okay, I want to change the filter cutoff. Why not? You can have snapback sound as well, and you can set it to run it free or restart or one shot as your preference. Now, you have a phaser as well. You can adjust the rate, the feed, and the notch. You can add delay. You can set the time, the taps, and the mix, of course. And you can have a quick adjustment of tuning, which is really straightforward and really great when you do a lot of programming. Sound programming becomes really handy. And that, in a nutshell, is this new fantastic synth from AudioKit, Super SNESynth or SNESynth, the Ninja Entertainment synth. Okay, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, see you next time. Bye.